Niggas, how can I help you today?
Here, sir. So, Mr. President, as of recently, there's been a bit of unemployment crisis, and many Americans have been complaining about searching for a job. People go have degrees without going for a job for even up to 13 months. 13 months worth of job searching, it's just still nothing. So, is there any way to fix this?
I remember when I was young, back in the First World War, we used to work in factories. I say we bring the immigrants back to factories.
Mr. President, you're kind of dodging the question, but next question. So, as of recently, there's a bit, gun violence is getting worse and worse every year, and I feel like there's not really a lot of effort being put in towards it. So, is there any way to reduce these rates? Because as of recently, it's been getting worse and worse.
I say the reason why we have the large gun violence is because of black people. So I say we send back to Africa. Next question. I love black people. Matter of fact, my first slave was black. I love black people, matter of fact. Next question, please.
There have been issues about inflation. Is there anything you guys are working on to fix it?
I've been talking with the good Mr. Elon Musk. We have been discussing about reducing tax for the rich. And I wasn't finished. Moon cricket. As I was saying, we're gonna bring down the tax and bring up the tax for impoverished homes so I can get more money.
Well, President, isn't that very inconsiderate of you? Meaning, there's many struggling families out there who wish they had more. But you see all the rich people, they're all doing very well for themselves. What about the others that are, not so fortunate?
I say, I met this young white boy. He was very, very poor. And I say, we should put the funds in Obamacare to help that young white boy. And I believe that when it comes to poor people, we should really put funds to help them if they are American. I am not a racist. Matter of fact, when Bill Clinton signed that crime bill, I was the first to celebrate.
Okay, let's get back to the question.
Wait. My apologies. Who was the last president again? I thought it was Bill Clinton. Who was the last president? Oh, it was the young boy, Joe Biden. I remember that young fella. I remember seeing him when he came out. Boom! What a fine young man. I agreed with his crime bill. Next question. Would you say that a tomato is a fruit?
Technically, yes.
See, but when you think of fruits, you think of mangoes?
I think of mangoes too, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But sir.
That is what's wrong with our country. I say tomatoes should be considered vegetables. And that will be my first law as president.
But what does that mean, Mr. President?
I said what I said, monkey. Next question. I remember back in Ronald Reagan's time as president, crack cocaine was the main drug. And I remember people were saying that the drugs were brought into black communities by Ronald Reagan. And I would like to say that is only half true. Because I was the other 50%. And so I believe when it comes to drugs, it is in black communities. And you know who else caused majority of the crime, yet being the smallest minority? Black people. So I say we get guns, just like the Mexicans.
I'm sorry, but I feel like all your answers have just been very leaned towards, like, the color of people's skin or where they came from. But you're not really, bringing in, real solutions that can really help us all, make this country even better, even more stronger, more powerful.
I call that wrong, because I am the president belonging to the Democratic Party. And I remember during my campaign, you are not black if you don't vote Democrat. And so that is why I'm president. Any other questions?
I think I'm done here now.
That is what I thought, boy. I would like to finish by saying that we will increase the funding for ICE, get these immigrants out of here, and bring more drugs to the black community. Like I said, you ain't black if you ain't vote Democrat. Good day.
But Mr. President, is it true that your wife got a BBL and you used 50% of the U.S. government's money to pay for that?
My 19-year-old wife?
Yes.
I told her to get 6.
19-year-old.
She's very